Odin and Merlin. Merlin is a character from Arthurian legends. He's derived from the Celtic mythic figures, specifically Merlin, and is later named Merlin by Geoffrey of Monmouth in the 12th century in Historia Regum Britanniae. I'm using Merlin as a catch-all for the Celtic mythic character. Odin and Merlin are linked through their ability to shapeshift. In the story of Odin and the Mead of Poetry, Odin takes on the shape of a snake and of an eagle. In the Welsh poem Commanding Youth, Merlin is referred to as a white hawk. Mead is another aspect linking the two. Odin steals the mead of poetry, and Merlin is nourished by mead in his youth. The most significant parallel is their connection to a special tree of the cosmic variety. Odin is linked to this tree through his sacrifice to gain runic knowledge. The Merlin figure is linked to the cosmic tree through his wandering in the woods and death upon a sacred stake. The equation of the stake and the cosmic tree is acceptable because the world tree is represented as a stake, pillar, and stone in other mythic traditions. The figure Merlin is made up of various sources. In one poem he dies on a stake, and in another he throws himself upon a thorny tree to find lost horses. In Stephen Knight's book Merlin, Knowledge and Power Through the Ages, he describes Merlin as a man of special knowledge in relation with power, and this relationship can generate both dissent from and support for social authority. Where Merlin represents a knowledge versus power dichotomy, Odin does not have this conflict of power because Odin is power. He is the king of all the gods. This relationship with power is a major difference between the two figures. Is it possible to definitively argue that the Norse deity Odin directly inspires the Celtic figure of Merlin? While there was contact between these two societies through Viking colonization, as found in the Oxford Handbook of Anglo-Saxon Archaeology, in the later decades of the 9th century, Scandinavians colonized parts of the British Isles, brought their beliefs and cultic practices with them, and this resulted in a brief introduction of paganism into parts of northern Britain. It's important to note that the archaeological evidence of this impact is limited to the presence of Scandinavian burial rites found in the British Isles. It is also likely that the similarities that exist between Odin and Merlin are due to their stories following an archetypal pattern and are an example of Carl Jung's theory of universal collective unconsciousness. These two figures serve a particular role as a keeper of wisdom and as a wanderer, but there are enough significant differences to point that these figures do not directly inspire each other. The poems and stories that make up the figure of Merlin come from a variety of authors across a set of geographical area, and it is harder to point to a direct and concrete influence of Nordic mythology.